Hello, and welcome to another weekly update on the Mounjaro journey. The Mon journey. No, that doesn't sound good. So it's been my first week on the slightly higher dosage, so I've got lots to speak about regarding that, and I've also got how much weight I lost in my fifth week using Mounjaro. So I guess I'll just get straight into basically what the week was like for me. It was interesting. So I actually took the injection. We're up to 5 milligrams now. So I was on 2.5 initially, and it was my first week using the 5 milligrams. Now, every other time that I've done it, I've kind of injected myself, and it's just been, I guess, fine. I've never really felt any side effects. I've never felt anything really after I've injected myself and taken the injection out. It doesn't really feel like anything. But this time, I really did feel like I could. I could feel it sort of coursing through my body in some sense, almost like a bit cold or something. Not through my whole body, I guess, mainly through my thigh. I choose to do it in my upper thigh. But yeah, I kind of could feel it as I pushed the injection down into my leg. I was like, oh, it feels cold. Like I can actually feel that liquid going around, sort of like starting to go around my body from my leg, and I could honestly, genuinely, for the first time ever, felt it around. It wasn't uncomfortable or painful. It was a sensation that I could notice. And then on Tuesday, I guess this was probably something out of the ordinary for me. I've never in my life had a toothache. I've never needed to have like fillings or root canals or any of that kind of stuff. Every single time I've gone to the dentist, it's been absolutely fine. To the point where, I mean, in England, you've got to pay for your dentist appointments, and I would be going twice a year. I'm paying for it from the age of 18 up to like COVID. And then since COVID, I've basically just been like, I'm just going to, next time, I'm wasting money. Every time I go to the dentist, it's fine. So basically from COVID, or even a little bit before COVID onwards, I've just sort of had the feeling, I've kind of had the stance of, I'm just going to go to the dentist if I ever get a toothache, I guess. Because, I couldn't even really fathom a toothache. In my opinion, my teeth have no like feeling really. It's like having a hair ache or something. I literally had never had one, and a couple of weeks ago I chipped my tooth, one of my sort of back tooth, eating some popcorn. I'm the popcorn king, but it was one of those popcorns that hadn't popped. It was just, I don't want to call it corn. It was one of the the little hard balls, and it just chipped a little bit of my tooth at the back. But And I was going to go to the dentist to see if I can get that done, but life got in the way. I just never got a chance. And anyway, so I took my injection on Monday. Tuesday, I was like, okay, let's see if I get these hunger pains, or if I start feeling hungry or whatever. But to be honest with you, I can't properly analyze whether or not I felt hungry or whether or not I was craving food or not, because I had, for the very first time in my life, a toothache. And now I understand why I've got a mate who seems to always have his wisdom's tooth coming through. Like, I used to live with him at university, and he used to, at that time, have his wisdom tooth coming through, and he would be like, oh, I'm in so much pain, I can't do anything, I need to just sleep or take painkillers. And I'm like, is it really that bad? Like, I had my children's teeth, and then I had adults' teeth. It never hurt. They came out, and then other teeth came in. Like, I didn't know. Again, I had no reference point for toothache. I didn't know how much they could hurt. And my friend seems to have had wisdom tooth problems and toothache throughout the whole time I've ever known him. We're in our 30s now, and I'm sure he still gets painful wisdom teeth aches. And yeah, so for the first time ever, I'm like, oh my god, I understand what the hell he's talking about now, because it's hard to explain. It's like a throbbing pain. It's like a headache, but a really bad headache right on one, like at the bottom of one tooth. And it kind of throbbing, and it's like, it affects like your whole side of your face almost. You're just like, oh my god, like, is there no relief from this pain? Like, almost like with a headache, at least you can kind of, I don't know, put a cold pack there or something, but like I couldn't, having anything to drink, like having any cold liquid was like making the pain even worse. Having any hot liquid like tea or just, herbal teas or hot water, that was making my the throbbing and the pain worse. And when I used to have these really bad back problems, as I've said before on the channel, I've had these operations, I could at least get relief from like sitting in a really hot bath, for example. But the thing I found with the toothache is that there's no relief. There's just no sense of relief. And I was like, so I had eating food was not at all on my mind or anything that I remotely wanted to do, because using my mouth, and not even just using my mouth, just existing in the world and having a mouth, was hurting me. So I called an emergency dentist and I had an appointment. I went there and they were like, you need a root canal and probably a crown. And then they were like, that's going to be about £1,300. And I was like, I'm going to see if I can get that on the NHS, because that is very expensive. The toothache kind of did eventually go away. Maybe after I slept in the morning it had gone away. But what I've done since is only chew food on one side of my mouth. And I just haven't been wanting to affect, because that pain was so all consuming. It's not like it was the most painful thing I've ever felt. It was just the most present and enduring and consistent throb of a pain. Kind of reminded me of when I was having my back pains, actually, when it was like, I can't lay down, I can't stand up, I can't walk around, I can't watch a movie and get my mind off it. It is just there all the time. That's what the toothache felt like. And I would just be sort of leaning over like the kitchen side with my head in my hands. So just eating food was just not on my mind at all. Like, I was barely eating. But like I say, the pain did eventually go. I've been chewing food, eating my prepared meals, chewing food on one side of my mouth, trying to call the NHS. But I'm a singer, I've never had a tooth operation. I've never had anything done to my teeth. And it was getting, it got to Thursday by this point, and the NHS were like, okay, you need to go to this dentist. So I didn't want to have a root canal or any kind of operation on my teeth, knowing I'd have to be singing that evening, so I kind of put it off. And so I have not had the root canal yet. I haven't had any more tooth pain, luckily. That's probably because I've just been chewing on one side of my mouth and just leaving one side completely untouched. So yeah, I've been eating way less, and I have no idea if that's got anything to do with the higher dosage of Mounjaro. The other thing that I've started doing is, because I was told from some information that you read online, but I was also told from a family friend who is a doctor, that Mounjaro, 30% of the weight you will lose will be muscle. So yes, you'll be losing fat through the dieting and the healthy lifestyle, that you've got to live a healthy lifestyle alongside your Mounjaro. That's what they keep saying. But not only that, sorry, there's like, it's so sunny right behind me today for some reason. I'll do this. But yeah, the 30% of the weight you will lose will be muscle. So how can I okay, let's just put this here. Okay, that's a bit better. Yeah, it will be muscle that I will be losing. So over the week, the toothache week, I'll call it, I've been going to the gym. I've always been going to the gym, but I've also been upping my weight regimen, doing weights. I mean, and press ups and things like that. I again still have this thing in my mind about pushing myself and hurting my back. So I'm not going overly heavy, but I'm just doing lots of sets of not too heavy weights, basically. Loads of sets. Because I really don't want to lose muscle. I like the feeling of being strong or whatever. I just like it, okay? So I might have been going a little bit over the top here, but I've been doing like press ups every hour. I've been doing my weights every hour, basically. Just small sets, very light weights, but just doing it, working my arm muscles, working my chest muscles, working my back muscles as well. I've been exercising a lot and growing muscles, I guess. I've been trying to grow muscles anyway. I like just looking at them after 1 week, I do feel like, okay, yeah, they're a bit more pumped up than maybe they were last week. So that's all the things that I've been doing over the week. I did not cheat on my diet. I have a cheat day, which I'm allowed to cheat on my diet on my cheat day, but on the days where I'm got, a relatively sort of strict meal plan, I didn't cheat. And that's the first week I've ever done that, if I'm honest with you. Ever, probably, in my whole life. But again, I don't know if I can attribute that to Mounjaro working and being really, really effective, or if I can attribute that to having the first toothache of my life and it being just hell that I never want to experience again. I'm gonna have my I'm gonna try get it done this week on the NHS, but I'll tell you about that in the next week's video, I guess. But yeah, so I've got all my food prepped for the week coming. So let me just go through the food prep first, show you what I'm going to be eating in the week coming, and then I'm going to tell you about the weight that I've lost. So here we go. So I've been cutting a bunch of potatoes. As you know, I love potatoes. There's broccoli, red peppers, red onions. Putting that all into a pan. That's a huge amount, as you can see, but I'm actually making it for 6 days, and I'm making extra for my housemate who wanted to have some as well. Putting a few different spices on there. And this is some cheese as well that you put on there, and try to find the light cheese version. Mix it all together so it's all lovely and mixed in. And then once it's all mixed, it should look a bit like that. And you're just basically going to stick that in the oven until it's ready. For me, it was like an hour. Cut up a bunch of beef, put some salt on the beef, not too much. I love Cajun spice. It makes everything taste better, in my opinion. Some people use paprika. I use Cajun spice and these chili flakes. Cook the beef until it's nice and brown and delicious. Again, this is all calorie counted. It's roughly about the sort of 600 calories per meal. And I'm only having these meals like once a day, basically. Here, this is the finished product. For my lunch, I'm still just having these 2 rice cakes with chorizo or cheese on it. And that is what I will be eating for this coming week. So let's go into the weights, because that's what you've been waiting for. So in week 4, I was 113 kilograms. I don't know how much that is in stone. I'm sorry, I always forget to check that. But suffice to say, week 5, so I was 113 at the end of week 4. At the end of week 5, my first week of 5 milligrams Mounjaro, I am a staggering 113 kilograms. I didn't lose any weight. What the fuck happened? That's weird. I didn't lose any weight. I didn't gain any weight. I stayed exactly the same. I maintained, as people would say. What the fuck happened? I ate way less because of this insane toothache that I had for the first time ever, which practically put me off ever eating again. I didn't, for the first time ever, I didn't cheat on my diet. I didn't sneak any sugary drink, or I didn't even have any alcohol really till my cheat day. And on my cheat day, what did I eat on my cheat day? I had some Indian food, and I don't think I had anything else. I did have a little bit of alcohol in the evening, but that's it. I didn't go crazy on my cheat day. I wasn't, overloading on carbs. So what the fuck happened? I barely ate anything. I didn't break my diet. So there's a couple of things. I spoke about this a little bit with my housemate. So the diet that she prepared for me, it's a sheet and it tells you how many calories of beef and protein and stuff that I can have, and chicken. She's really, really done a great job with this sort of sheet for me, and it's broken down into days and what I can have, and rice cakes and everything. So what she was saying was, well, she made that plan when I was 125 kilograms, at the very beginning of my Mounjaro journey. And that plan is for somebody who is 125 kilograms heavy. That plan is for them to lose weight. I'm 113 kilograms now. So I've lost a whole bunch of weight. That maybe that plan now needs to be reduced. So that's one explanation. My prepared meals are now just a bit too much for my weight. They're just maintaining me now. I need to start cutting it down, I guess, slightly as I lose weight. I guess I've got to continue to eat less. So that's something that I'm going to implement from next week, because I've maintained. The other theory is I've been exercising a lot, so maybe as my muscles have grown, I'm gaining a little bit of muscle weight, and maybe I am still losing fat, but gaining muscle, which has sort of stagnated me a tiny bit. And then finally, I don't know, like maybe I was a little bit ill recently. Maybe the week before I was a little bit ill. Also the week before I did have a lot of food at this barbecue. And maybe it just sort of that extra weight that I had put on from my sort of cheat weekend at that barbecue and being a little bit sick. Maybe it just, the body sort of held on to it more than it normally would. Was using it more, needed it more. I don't know. I'm not going to let it put me down or bring me down at all. I still feel good. I feel energetic. I'm not really feeling sleepy anymore. I was feeling quite sleepy, but I've been going to the gym loads, doing exercise. It's funny. It's bizarre. I've come to a realization, and I'm sure I knew this before, but I guess it's something you have to relearn every time. Doing exercise, you would think, oh, that's going to exhaust you and wear you out, and you're going to be exhausted and just want to do nothing. But it doesn't. It gives you energy in a weird sense. When I come out of the gym and I've swum my 30 lengths and I've been doing weights all day, I mean, literally doing it every hour, trying to get my muscles big. Or maybe I've overdone it a bit, but I feel less exhausted by the end of the day. I feel more energetic. I feel like I can run home from the gym sometimes. You know, I feel like I can go for jogs and stuff. I feel more energetic. Maybe that is losing weight that does that, but it's funny. The more I exercise, sort of the more I'm like, because like I guess I exercise and then I exercise really hard, and all I want to do is sit in the sauna and just do nothing for 5-10 minutes. But once I'm dry and I go to the changing rooms and I'm all changed and I'm fresh, and I step out of that gym, I'm not exhausted. I'm ready to continue my day. And that's the really great thing about exercise, and it's the thing I've got to remember, is you might think I don't have the energy to exercise because exercising requires energy. But I promise you, exercise gives you energy as well. If next time I feel like I don't have energy, I really do just need to force myself to go swimming or jump some rope or go for a jog or lift some weights. Because it's not that that's going to exhaust me more, that's going to give me, I guess, endorphins that energize me, and I'm going to feel way better after I've done it, and way more alive and more active. And I used to follow this I think he was from Israel. He was this movement guy. For the life of me, I can't remember his name. But he said something once, which I think I now definitely understand, which is the body is an incredible learner. And whatever you do with your body, it will become good at doing that. Which is to say, if you sit down and do nothing all day, that's what your body's going to become good at. Just doing nothing. But if you move, and you move your body, and you go for your run, or you do weights, or you go swimming, that's what your body's going to become good at. And you'll want to do that more. Like, everything is kind of, your body just adjusts to the state that you put it in. And when I don't have energy and I just want to sit down and do nothing, that's what my body will be good at, and that's what I will continue wanting to do. I will continue to want to do nothing because my body will enjoy doing nothing, and it will become good at doing nothing, and I'll just be stagnant. But if I force myself out of that habit or that routine, and I go to the gym and I go running and I do these press ups every single hour and weights every single hour, that's the shit that my body will get good at, and that's the stuff that will continue to make me want to do that stuff. There's just like a horrible transition period, you know, where it just feels a bit hellish. And I'm sure I knew this as a younger man. I used to love exercising. In my 20s, I was always in my garden doing some kind of exercise. Always. But yeah, I guess that's something I needed to relearn since COVID, since the world stood still and I got used to sitting down, since my back operations and I got used to not using my muscles too much. Yeah, my body just got good at doing nothing, and I'm having to go through the transition period of making it good at doing something, and it will become good at doing things because the body's a great learner. And that's just kind of what I guess I want to leave you with. So I'm not worried that I didn't lose any weight this week. We'll see what happens next week. Hopefully I won't gain weight. I'm gonna change my meal prep, make it a little bit less, and we'll go from there. But let me know how you're getting on with your journey, your Mounjaro journey, in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. I love you all at home, and let's just be really loving to each other. Yeah, let's do that.